All right. Moonlight Sorcery is a Finnish black metal band, and one that um, I guess we could call them a neoclassical shred influenced melodic black metal band who uh, this will really depend on where you're coming from as far as the last 30 years of Finnish black metal and maybe some of the more accessible stuff. So, like if you're a big fan of Moon Sorrow, or like you understand a reference like Artemisia, which is pretty, not that common, or you fundamentally understand what Winter Sun is, you'll get the mood that an EP like Nightwind, The Conqueror from the Stars is putting out. Um, so when I see comparisons to Stormkeep for this band, I don't think that really fits in the slightest, especially if you understand like what Finnish melodic black metal and just Finnish melodic metal in general, where it's coming from, the sort of power metal influences for a lot of it, and that whole lineage. This has more in common with like Winder or something like that overall. Anyway, I don't mind. I don't mean to insert a tangent into here too much. Basically, what you're getting is very catchy, heavily melodic black metal, which has it comes from musicians whose roots are in traditional heavy metal, and that means they're quite good at writing effective songs uh, that hit quite directly, which don't get lost in the abstraction available to black metal in the last 20 years. And all that means is you can pick up this record and have a good time with it, and it's not really your mind is not going to wander away from what they present to you. I think it's really effective, and some of this is sort of at least on trend right now, where like the '90s keyboard soaked melodic black metal that I grew up with in the late '90s is popular again for a lot of people. But I don't really feel that like that's the angle they're sort of hitting. I think it's definitely it is more of like an early 2000s nostalgia for me, and they have their own spin on it. You're not going to find a band that sounds exactly like this. You'll find you might find some influences that are pretty obvious here and there, but their sort of edge over a lot of what else you'll hear is again the neoclassical shred influences. And I don't mean that this is an Yngwie Malmsteen album in the slightest. It's really not that indulgent, but that these guys can play and they can write good songs around those techniques. And they're really not overdoing it yet. In fact, they probably put more emphasis on the keyboards in a lot of these songs in terms of developing a catchy song or two. So I thought this was a great EP to pick up. Yeah, I mean the production is a little bit wonky on both of their EPs that released this year. I think this one is a little bit more cleaned up. It's got less of the reverb soaked over it. It's a little bit more dynamic. The drums do sound artificial or just kind of loud, more than they need to be. But overall, I think most people will be able to sit down and have a good time with this music. It's a lot of fun, and they're building a personality for themselves very quickly, and I think they're on the right track. I'm looking forward to the inevitable full length that there will be demanded of them here in the next couple of years. So a little bit more detail in the review. Go ahead and check that out and give these guys a try. Definitely check out their first EP. I think that one caught on with people a lot more quick. This kind of came out at the end of the year, and it'll be on vinyl in January. So keep an eye out for that.